Hello, welcome back to our math review. So once again, like I've said, this week we're really going to focus on the hundreds and working on some of those second grade standards. So pause the video now and complete the hundreds, tens, and ones and find if it's odd or even. Go. Okay, so let's review. So we have two hundreds. So I'm going to draw two large squares, 1 10 and 7 ones. Then I'm going to make them into pairs. I have one left over, so that means our number is odd. Now taking 217, we're going to move into hundreds, tens, and ones, so pause the video and do that now. Go. So we have two hundreds, we have 1 10, and we have 7 ones in the number 217. Now we're going to write 217 in expanded form. So remember, we're not going to write a 2, we're going to write 200. So this is 100, 200, and then we're writing the 10. There's one group of 10. It's not a 1, but it's actually 10. So do 217 for expanded form. Pause it, do it now. Go. Alright, so using the number 217, we have 200 plus 10 plus 7 equals 217. Then we are going to use the number 217 and find minus 10 plus 10 minus 1 plus 1. So pause the video and do that now. Go. So now we're going to start the minus 10 first. Remember, the hundreds spot is staying the same throughout all this because we're not doing anything with the hundreds. We're only going to be doing stuff with the 10 spot and stuff with the 1 spot. So the hundreds will be staying the same throughout. So we had 1 10. We're going to take away a 10. So 1 minus 1 equals 0. And then our 1 stay the same. 217 minus 10 equals 207. Now 217 plus 10. So we have the hundreds, stays the same. 1 10 plus one more 10 equals 2 10s, and then the 1 stay the same. So 217 plus 10 equals 227. We have 217, and now we're going to minus 1, so we're focusing on the 1 spot. So the 10s and the hundreds will stay the same. So we're going to say 7 minus 1 equals 6. So 217 minus 1 equals 216. Then we're going to plus 1. Remember, the hundreds and the tens stay the same. 7 plus 1 more equals 8. 217 plus 1 equals 218. Now we're going to find the missing number, so pause the video and do those now. Go. Alright, so 5 plus blank equals 10. 5 plus 5 equals 10, and that is a double fact. Any number plus itself is a double fact. Blank plus 6 equals 9. 3 plus 6 equals 9. 7 plus blank equals 8. 7 plus 1 equals 8. Now we're moving on to balance both sides. So we have 1 plus 9. So solve what 1 plus 9 is. Write an equation that equals the same amount so both sides are balanced. Do that now. Go. So 1 plus 9 equals 10, and then you can do any other 10 fact you like. So today I'm going to do 10 plus 0 equals 10. Now we're moving on to put them in order. Notice that I did include larger numbers in the hundreds, so we have 123, 99, 34, and 100. So remember, when we're looking at this, the ones that have the 2 digits with only the 10s and the 1s will be the smaller ones. So we're going to start there first before we go to our larger numbers. So pause the video and do that now. Go. So I'm going to look at my ones with the 2 10s. I see 99 has 9 10s, 34 has 3 10s, so 34 is the smaller number. Then I'll be moving to my 99 because I know that is smaller than the other 2 numbers. Now I'm moving to my 123 and my 100. So I'm going to touch the hundreds in both of them. They are the same, so just like we've done in the past where if the 10s were the same, we jump to the 1s. Well, this time we go from the hundreds and we're going to jump to the 10s. We're just going to take one jump back. So I notice in 123 that there are 2 10s, and in 100 there are 0 10s. So 0 is less than 2, so we're going to put 100 next. And then 123 is the larger of the 4 numbers. Now we're moving on to greater than, less than, or equal. So pause the video and do those now. Go. Alright, so we have 42 and 24. We touch the 10s. I notice there are more 10s in 42. 4 is larger than 2. So 42 is greater than 24. Then I notice that on the next line, both of these numbers, 425 and 519, both have 3 digits. So I'm going to touch the hundreds spot. 400s and 500s. 500s is more than 400s. So 425 is less than 419. Now when I move to the last one, I do notice 32 only has 2 digits, and 132 has 3 digits. So right away I touch the hundreds. There are no hundreds in this one, so nothing would be the same as 0. So we're actually going to have this one, the 132 is larger because it does have a 100 spot. So 32 is less than 132. Moving on to whole, part. Remember, we're practicing making 10s and 1s, just like we would do when we're doing our double-digit addition. So break that down into 10s and 1s, and then solve your adding and subtraction. Go. Alright, so our number is 33. I'm going to break it into 30, the group of 10s, and then the 3 1s. So 30 plus 3 equals 33. 33 minus 30 equals 3. And then we're moving on to our fact family. We have 4, 30, and 34. Pause the video and complete that now. Go. Alright, so we're going to start with the 2 smaller numbers, which are part, and to get to our whole. So we're 4 plus 30 equals 34. 30 plus 4 equals 34. 34 minus 4 equals 30. 34 minus 30 equals 4. And moving on to our time. So pause the video and complete the time now. Go. Alright, so while looking at my clock, I make a little dot to help me because I noticed that it is between two numbers, so it's not directly touching one or the other. So it's in between the 1 and the 2. So if it helps me, I say 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, and then when I hit this, I can say 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and I'm still saying 1, so I'm going to put a 1 for the hour. And then, when my minute hand is pointing at the 6, I'm going to write 30. So it is 1:30 on our clock. Now we're moving into our fraction, so pause the video and complete those now. Go! Alright, so let's look at our circle. We're cutting it into thirds. And we're coloring 1/3. And then on our rectangle, we're cutting it into fourths or quarters. And we're coloring 3/4. Now we're moving back to our 120 chart, and we're going to count by twos again. So when we're counting by twos, these are all even numbers. So remember when we said even, they were in groups of pairs. So these will all be groups of pair numbers. So let's count by twos. Count with me. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50. And if you notice, when we're counting by twos, they all have to end either with a 2, a 4, a 6, an 8, or a 0. So that's like a little hint to know if it's counting by twos. And now we're moving on to our equations. Remember, you need to have watched the regrouping video if you are confused. If you know how to do this, go right ahead and do it. But if you need that extra practice, go back and get that other video, that regrouping video, to help you out. So pause this and do the problems now. Go! So 63 plus 28 is 91. 42 plus 38 is 80. 53 plus 19 is 72. And 66 plus 24 is 90. That is all for today. See you tomorrow for math.